Hello, welcome to day 6 of our 21 days of word and prayer. My name is Jean-Luc. If we haven't met, I'm part of the youth team. I came a little bit prepared today. I'm taking us through day 6, John chapter 6, and in your book, in your abiding book, it will be a journal. That's the exercise that you're doing today. But I'm actually going to do a journal on the first half of John chapter 6. So still have the second half. A couple of things that are standing out to me are from verse 2 and 3. The large crowd which is following Jesus because they were observing the miraculous signs he was performing. And verse 3 which says, Jesus went up the mountainside and sat down with his disciples. This is after he's docked to a new space and a new kind of small town. Following in verse 4 and 5. In verse 4 and 5, he looked up and saw a large crowd. These are some of the things that I've highlighted that are kind of standing out to him. And he says to Philip, that's the other one. And then Philip replied, and Andrew, Simon Peter's brother as well, echoes the reply in around about the same way of Philip, which is, what good are these 5 loaves of fish for so many people? There is also, I've underlined Jesus' command to his disciples, have people sit down. And as well as Jesus' reaction in verse 15, I believe, Jesus, because he knew they were going to come and seize him by force to make him king, withdrew again to the mountainside alone. So a couple of things that I have written, I've already started to write in my journal just so it doesn't take up too much time. But one of the things that I wrote down was that just the location of Jesus, he's willingly going up to the side of the mountain as he sees a crowd coming and as he sees people that are paying attention to the miracles that are coming up, which is connected to, I guess, the last part of this interaction where he goes up again to the mountainside alone. So people are coming with their own agenda, which, like, what are the agendas that I am coming up to Jesus with? Because this will largely determine how I respond to what he's saying. Jesus' location as well is not always where everyone else is. I would assume that when you dock your ship somewhere, that you would go into the town square, especially during his days. But it's interesting because some of the stuff that I've received, and I wrote down without, because Jesus isn't always located where everybody else is, when I draw near to Jesus, I've got to, it actually automatically distances me from things like distractions, things like contradictions to what he says and does, and also deceptions that come with that. And so when I am instead distracted or living in the space of contradictions and deception, I try to put Jesus in that space as well. My response is going to be like Philip and Simon, and Andrew. So the other things that I'm getting out of this is like a lack of focus on Jesus will lead me to respond with a mentality or an attitude that is colored with distraction, is contradicting to the reality that God can do anything. And also can come with a deception that maybe Jesus is not as powerful as he says. So I will ask things like, what good is... I will ask, what good are my talents, my efforts, my, whatever it is God is asking me to do. And it puts it back on me instead of actually getting me to look at Jesus. So wherever Jesus is, I've got to draw that distance with whatever is going to contradict his leading. So I hope that encourages you. What are you getting out of John chapter 6?